So I just built this car for fun. So it just does a lot of tricks. We have normal doors. And they also go up for a vertical door in tight parking spaces. Actually use that today.
So how'd you find this? How'd you find your car?
This car and me fell in love. Yeah, I actually owned it for about a decade before I decided to build it because the value of these cars just went down.
One of my biggest pet peeves is when I start something and I don't finish it. And that's exactly what happened with this 3000 GTO video. I met up with these guys like 2 months ago. We shot. I thought I had enough footage, but when I went back to edit it, I was like, I didn't get enough B-roll, and I wasn't happy with it. So it just sat on my hard drive for 2 months. I never got around to it. Every time I would try to edit, I would get frustrated. So with that being said, the other day I got back to it. I was like, I should edit this and just make it something. If it sucks, but let me just put it out. So I made it something.
Seen one when I was a really young kid. It was my grandfather's buddy at the time, and he had, I believe it was a 99, and it was red. It was gorgeous. It looked awesome, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. And my mom actually, when I was in like, I don't know, early like high school, maybe 8th grade, my mom got a Dodge Stealth RT, and I just love that car. It had a couple dings on it, but it had exhaust. It wasn't turboed, but it was the freaking coolest car.
Actually, just looking online on some Japanese websites, actually for a Nissan Skyline. But I happened to find this for super cheap. I've had two here before, so I said, why not? Condition was very good for 1990, being the first year that it came out in Japan. Stock condition, it was owned by an old woman, only has 37,000 miles, on it. So super, super clean. But it does show its age. It's from 1990, so it's almost older than I am. So I'm trying to collect Japanese parts that are rare and discontinued for the car, like the hood. The hood's true carbon fiber from Japan, Pit Road M. They're the only company who makes a lot of aftermarket parts for these particular vehicles. Also at the front is a retrospec lip. Skirts, carbon fiber, also from retrospec. The wheels are a staggered lip setup, but all 18 by 10.5 all the way around. Went with the Volk TE37 SL just to get a modern look on an old vehicle. I found the authentic discontinued gritty front brakes, 6-pot. Works a lot better than what was installed on this vehicle with all the power that it did have.
So it's basically I ripped the motor apart. I did a 120K on it. I changed out all the main stuff for the timing belt system, the timing belt tensioners, everything. I did the oil pump, the pickup, and I did head gaskets on it. I changed the head gasket because there was a little bit of a leak when I first got it. It used to overheat a little bit. So I did head gaskets, had the heads resealed, and then I started actually building everything. I put bigger turbos on it. I put DR650 turbos. They're made by Dynamic Racing. I've got a fuel system on there. It's custom built by Chris Hill at Ninja Performance. It's all stainless steel all the way. I did all the modifications and the location for the methanol kit. So it's all methanol and E85. It's tuned by Alan with BTS tuned. It's on standalone AEM V2 with speed or on speed density, so no master flow sensors or O2 sensors or anything. Pretty much everything in the car is stock. I got the 3-pod pillar with all the AEM gauges. It's even got, I have a deck that I had in one of my first cars in this car from like 2004. It's a Pioneer, and like it kind of sticks with the era, I guess, with not the touchscreen and all that. Yeah, it's all stock, it's clean. I want to upgrade a few things, put like a half cage in the back, get some lighter seats, but I want to keep like the tan and black look though.
This car is not the VR4. Let's just clear the air. This is the actual base model. So I put the twin turbos on it and basically upgraded, cleaned up everything in the engine bay. But the cool thing about the base model is the lightest one. Doesn't have any of the goodies. I'm lucky I have power windows on this car, but they're just so torquey, they're so nimble, they're light, they're the lightest of the heavyweights. You see the line of heavyweights right next to it. I made everything solid. I put in all 4 solid engine mounts. I replaced a lot of suspension parts and they're all adjusted, and everything is just really solid feel car. You can feel every breath the engine takes. It's really accurate feel of the car. Like you don't just drive this car, you have to kind of become one with it to drive it. That's my favorite thing.
So how much did you pay for it?
Well, the reason I bought this car, honestly, is because I couldn't afford a VR4 back then. So I only paid $4,900 for it. And it was well taken care of, so I just thought I would build it just for a fun car. So I went 90s, I put in old Rockford Fosgate, Vair pumps. I ended up putting D2 adjustable racing struts all the way around. It has ride height sensors on all 4 corners of the car, so it auto levels itself out. Basically computer controlled air ride. So it gets some good air if I need it, if I gotta go curb hopping or something. But then I put in this little, I don't know, platform. Totally 90s style crap, but so the speaker box actually just kind of floats on felt, and then I can still get to my spare tire, extra battery, everything I got, back storage, little things. So from a roll, the car is really fast, it kicks in, but from the get-go, I don't have the traction. The VR4 models obviously have the all-wheel steering, all-wheel drive. I got none of that, so this car was just a fun toy build.